Alright, what's up, Dragon Brood? We're continuing with our series of decks that are rotation ready or rotation proof, your language, your choice. But this time we're going to be playing some Hasty Gruul. And honestly, we like this deck here on the channel. There's enough cards that still exist. I'm sure there will be one or two new cards with haste that we can incorporate. But for what we have available, we have a decent amount of stuff to work with. So let's start with Evolving Adaptive. That absolutely doesn't have haste, but the other things with haste at 1 mana weren't particularly great, so I'd rather at least have this so if we get it early we can grow to a reasonable sized creature. We are going to play some hard-hitting Question among some other cards for removal, but this is just a good 1 mana removal card. Charming Scoundrel I like because it does give us some options either to find cards or make another creature bigger, so I do like this and it is still a haste creature. Lightning Strike, no big surprise. It's some removal that can go up top if we need to. Yavimaya Iconoclast, it was cool to see that this was still going to be legal because a 4-power Trampler later in the game is actually pretty nice. Ruby, Daring Tracker, it's a mana creature and has haste. Not a lot to think about there. Squee, now this was a choice between going with Squee or Godric in this slot. I decided to go with Squee because we don't have that many things that make extra tokens and stuff, and Squee can at least be played out of the graveyard again later. Some Urbrass Forge. Starts with small creatures, but this is a good option to have against some of the control decks. If your stuff gets swept early, you can still play this on turn 3 or 4 and know that you'll have creatures the following turn. Of course, Samut, because, well, we're playing all the haste creatures, so Samut gets to go, right? We are going to play some Rampaging Raptor. This is a way to still deal damage to the opponent and their planeswalkers, which is kind of nice. It does have haste, it's something we can spend mana on late, and it does have trample, so lots going for it. Now, the only reason we have 3 Raptors is because I did try to make some room for some Witchstalker Frenzy, because we do still have to deal with stuff like Shieldred and whatnot, so maybe this is the right call. Unfortunate that it can't hit Planeswalkers, but otherwise should be fine. And that means we only get to play 3 Goldvein Hydra, but this is mostly a late game draw is what we're hoping for, but it can help open the door to playing multiple things on the following turn that it dies. I also realized I need to swap these lands up because I left a Sekinzin in there, so that's being fixed, there we go. I think otherwise we're pretty good. Now, per usual, when you get to the end of the video, if you like what you see and you want to play this style of deck, this is a great starting point for the new season. So I'll have a link over to our Moxfield page, a channel sponsor, that you can go ahead and download this deck and have it ready to go yourself. Otherwise, let's just go see if being hasty is the best way to go about business. Alright, I guess we're gonna keep this. There's nothing real bad to throw away with this. I think the trick is just, do we want to risk going with Scoundrel or go with Ruby? I think it's the only real question here. Green-white land, so I think I'm going to risk it and just go with Ruby. If we're wrong, we're wrong. Alright, they have any color mana to go with that green-white land. Miriam, so this is what we're doing. Okay. I guess we go with this. We'll just try to ramp up to bigger things. Play a big Hydra, then play Forge plus Scoundrel, get a card maybe? I mean, I guess technically... Okay, that's going to be First Striking and... It has Hexproof? No, only when... Oh, when that's... I got it. Alright, then... I guess, under the circumstances, let's just go Hydra. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just have a pile of 4/4 Tramplers. Alright, what do we got going on here? I mean, the benefit we have here is they have to tap down 2 things to get what they want, right? So you tap, you put a counter on it, you get to attack, you make a 3/3, which is relevant, and they gain 2 life. But then it's just first strikes, so like we can still block it safely. Alright, then I guess we'll just go with a 4/4 Hydra. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll also attack with Ruby here, because Ruby gets a little bit of an attack bonus. And that should do it. You know what I'm wondering, looking at this list? Like, if instead of playing the green fight spell, if we should be playing Rage or Shock. Like Rage because we can punch through some things with haste and just have bigger creatures. Or, like I said, just play Shock straight up, and that could be valuable as well. Oh, this little dude gonna die to a Shock? Maybe? Elspeth's Might? Nope, neither. Alright. Intriguing. Tywakeen. Boo! I can't say anything. I'm a big fan of that card. I have it in a build that I'll be featuring for rotation-proof stuff probably in the next day or two. So definitely a fan. Man, this sucks, because I feel like I need to kill that card. Alright, I'm going to do this, though. I feel like if I had something else to play in addition to the Lightning Strike, I would have been okay there to kill it. But I think under the circumstances, I'd rather just spend the mana to get a creature out, be more efficient. If they kill both of my creatures here somehow, that's fine, I guess. There's a world where they could, like, Brotherhood's End and make it an additional +1 or something, which would be reasonable. Or Lightning Strike +1 to kill the Raptor, also viable. Oh, +2. Okay, so let's play with fire. Fair enough. Alright, they do get a card here. They did not have a land. Alright, so that does open things up for us. Let's go here. We will definitely kill this, just so we don't have to worry about it. We'll get us a card. Alright. So in a perfect world, if things don't die, we could play Forge and get some extra cards, and that's kind of nice. That card is interesting, but we'll just take some damage from it for the short term. I'm okay with that. I know what that card is capable of. But it is a thing that, you know, in the versions I'm playing, I can't play that card anymore because it's rotating out. But in my current versions and standard that I play, when I go to local stores, I do like that card. Alright. So, I mean, if they block the 2, we get 2 cards. So it's up to them. Yep, they're only giving us 1 card. Taking an extra point of damage, which we're okay with. Because there does come a point that if we don't use it to kill their creature, we do have 3 to just go upstairs. And we have a lot of mana, and everything we have is haste. We just need to not draw lands at this point. Really don't want lands and kind of don't want our fight spell here. Alright, it was only a matter of time till Samet was going to die. But the fact that they're having to use that is good times. Anytime they have to 2-for-1 to get your best card, you're rarely going to be mad about it. Let me tell you. Okay. So, if we try to kill this dude... Well, we couldn't anyway. We have to attack into it first. Yep, so we just get our attacks on. You got it. Alright, and then we're just going to fight. I'm going to give it protection. Of course they are. Interesting choice of what to play there, but I'm not going to worry about wasting this. We're at 15. I think that's totally fine. And we're going to be making 3/3s next turn. They're at 6. Obviously, we would have liked something a little bit better there, but we can live with this. And if they go to try to play something on the Flame Breather or something, we could always respond with the Lightning Strike if we feel it's totally necessary. Alright. Yeah, I'm still kind of okay with that. Like, they're at 6, and we have a Lightning Strike, so sure. They can't really afford to attack here. Wow, we drew a lot of lands. I think we only drew hard-hitting question, maybe? Since, oh, no, that's true. We drew the other Forge after our opener. All right. And now we just wait to see what they do, and we can respond with a lightning strike accordingly. If they block, go to save themselves, and we just shoot them. Anything else weird happens, then we just kill the creature. All right. This time we won because of Forges, because we really didn't draw much else. Like, the Forges had to do all the work. Oh boy. Yeah, let's keep it. Because, I mean, we have a couple turns to draw a land here, right? We'll just play a 3-2. Oh, I say that, and then we're not going to draw the land, are we? Alright, well, the Iconoclast didn't immediately die. That's a thing. Alright, we found it. It only took a minute. Now I'm debating if I want to play Forge or not. I think we might just go back-to-back Forges here. And we'll worry about cards later. Because there's also other scenarios where once we're attacking with Forge tokens, it does make the ability to play Witchstalker Frenzy easier. Alright, you have a Mosswood Dread Knight. That I might consider trying to kill. Oh, there's two of them. Well, that's annoying. Well, now, I guess we go with this. And then we force their hand on, do you want to block these and keep us from getting cards? And if so, alright, so we are going to get at least one card. No land to be found, though. And now they have to choose. They're going to lose one of those, unless they just draw another black land and want to recast it. But you either get to kill Samet or play those things. Aclazotz. Well, we have some work. We can kill Aclazotz. Cool part is they're going to lose both their Dread Knights here, which is kind of sweet. Ooh, and we have a fight spell. That's two of those. Doesn't do much here, though. So I think we just do what we can with our 3 lands here. We attack. Use this on this duder. Though now we are giving them another land. Get a card. Backup Samet. Not really what we're looking for here. Oh, no! No! I meant to grab the hard-hitting question. Oops. I wanted to kill their Scrap Gorger. I mean, they're at 9, so... Oh, wow. Okay, that's a thing. So that's exciting. Well, now what do we want to do? Think we just do this and wait, then. Till we're big enough to fight. Or trample over. There's a world, too, where we could, like, hard-hitting question, kill one. It goes to stack its effect. We frenzy another one. You know, like, it's not going to be pretty, but it's a sequence. Alright. Oh, interesting. Alright, I see what you're doing. Doesn't really do much to our board. Oh, they're just attacking here. Intriguing. What's in your hand, opponent? Ooh, can we risk attacking now? Because this will turn this into a 3. This will turn this into a 4. We'd have a 4 that was trampling. And a 2 that's trampling. Or we could just play Samet and then use Witchstalker Frenzy to get rid of a blocker. That's 2, 3, 5. So that's 8. Maybe? Alright. I'm gonna gamble. I mean, if they have a kill spell, they have a kill spell, I guess. We're at 14, so we're not dead. Yeah, I think we just go for it. Do what the opponent wants to do. I mean, they have something. I just don't know what something is here. If it's just a single kill spell, I think we're okay. Only downside is if they kill our 5/1, we can only deal 7 here. If they kill anything that's not... Okay. So they got rid of both cards, which means they'll be able to flip Aclazotz next turn. If we kill this, they have to block with that to not die. Oh, actually, yeah, we just do that anyway. And then off this dude. So they're still taking 7 at a minimum. They'll have 2 6/6s. So if they find any damage, we die. If not, we win. Oh, opponent, you got to block the other way. Okay. Well, we didn't get to see what would happen on their turn. I was thinking they block the 4, they take 7, as opposed to blocking this, having that 2 trample go over and still dying. But it worked, just not the way anticipated. Though I don't think their deck, outside of maybe top decking a Shieldred, had a way they could have really beat us there. I think they would have had to have top deck Shieldred. If they did, that would have been kind of sick, though. Okay, we will keep this. Alright, let's go here, to here, into here. And I think that gives us a fair amount of options for next turn. Though arguably, could have just played Bristly Backwoods, played Adaptive, so I'd be able to guaranteed grow Adaptive into a 2/2 with Ruby. Because right now, I can't do that with what's in my hand. So, and we're not going to be able to, as it turns out. So let's go ahead and just play this. We'll put the Wicked Roll on it. We'll go ahead and hit them for 1. And we'll attack for 4. Alright, let's see what we can do. Oh, Ruby dies. Okay, fair enough. Alright, well, just getting a land here is not great. So, we're just going to attack and hope for the best. The only thing we can kind of hang our hat on right now is we do have a reasonable removal spell and some damage. So if we can get something else that's like a 4-power attacker, we can kind of sort of start threatening lethal. Alright, that'll still deal a point. So they're at 10. Alright. Come on, Samet? Like, I don't know what I'm even hoping for here. Alright, Raptor will have to do. Probably just gets countered, though, at this point. It's always bad when you're the aggro deck and have as much land as the control deck. That's usually really bad. So this was one we're just going to have to chalk up to bad luck, and we're probably just dead. Didn't produce enough threats early enough. Yeah, this gets to do a thing, but not in the best way possible. I guess we just try for the Wicked Roll. Go to attack. I mean, it's still 3 points. And we can kill their land, which they're tapping out for, so that's super nice. Oh man, are they playing like Tameo Safekeeping or something? Either way, it'd be tapped at least. Alright, they're at 6. We can at least see some light at the end of the tunnel. It's possible. Alright, we have to be really patient here with this lightning strike. Because there's a likelihood they have a counter here, so we can't just waste it. We need to respond to something. Oh, they're going to sweep the board, and they're checking to see if we had a creature land, I think. At least that looks like that's what's about to happen. Nope. Okay. then we're just going to attack again. I mean, they have to have some kind of plan here. Hullbreaker Horror. Great, there's 3. We found our opening. Alright, we're going to keep this. Not sure quite where it's going to go just yet, but we do have now 2 lightning strikes. This is one of those games where I might just, especially if we don't draw a land, I might just Scoundrel make the treasure. And if there's a removal card, that gets to eat it. Or we just block stuff or whatever in the meantime. Oh, well, now that we did get a land, though. And they're playing Phyrexians. Just trying to think what future turns look like if I do that. Like, because part of my thought is like, they play Liliana, we lose Ruby, but then we just like Ruby, make a treasure, attack Liliana, play Iconoclast probably. Yeah, I think it's still better just play Ruby here. There's still a fair amount, like, I couldn't convince myself of anything super scary they're going to play that we can't deal with. Like, even if they just play Preacher here, we can make a Raptor and just run in and trade. Like, wouldn't be ideal by any stretch, but it is something we could do. Oh, interesting. So do they not have an answer to that? Because that becomes a real thing. Huh. Oh, for some reason, I was thinking, because a card shifted in my hand, I thought they took Raptor there. Well, never mind, then we should just play Raptor then, right? Because even if they waste their turn killing Raptor, then maybe we get an untapped land, play Hydra. They could have another bat, take the other Lightning Strike. But I was going to say, at some point, they got to deal with our creatures. Okay, we did not get what we wanted there. So, I think we're still going to play a 3/3 Hydra. Just keep pressure up. It's a trampler. We still have options as long as we have access to 4 mana. They might just kill Ruby here, though. I was going to say, because we've been stuck. It wouldn't have been unreal for them to do that. Okay. So the plan here. Kill this duder. Play this. Put the counter on it. Alright, they're at 8. If they sweep the board, we get to deal a point to them. We get back at 3/3. Oh, okay. Now there's Shieldred, so that is a little bit of a thing. No longer a thing. Actually, can I play this? Yeah, actually. That's cool. Put a counter on. Get to attack with everybody and still use Witchstalker Frenzy to take out the Shieldred. So, cool to see a plan come together. And now, even if they sweep the board, that's ball game because of the Wicked tokens. And they'd also be giving us back a Lightning Strike, so it's kind of a no-win. Okay, that's 4 life for them, but I don't know if that changes anything. I think we're still alright. Yeah. Well, they don't know that we have what we have, but we just do this, kick it, and then also gets to grow Ruby on this attack step. So, way more than enough. Alright. Okay, let's keep it. And I think here we just want to go ahead and just cast Ruby early. Give us the possibility of double casting the next turn. Or playing one of these and something else. If Ruby just dies, then we just get to attack with a 2/2 Scoundrel. So it's like not the most exciting, but not bad enough to get rid of by far. So we'll go here. Give them the threat of a play with fire. Or a shock. Even though we're playing neither. At least currently. I think there is an argument to be made that we could include those in this list. Or at least shocks. Though giant growths, I have to look and see if those would still be legal. That's reasonable to consider playing. Oh, alright. So a decision has to be made here, huh? Do we just kill that? Feels like a little bit of a waste, but I'm going to do it anyway. Not knowing what type of deck they're playing or what they're up to. Oh, so they're just straight up doing vampire-y things. Well, I mean, killing an extra vampire isn't the worst. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and put one of these on it. And then we'll go ahead and put one of these on it. And we'll attack. This is also interesting because we have to lose life for them to put a counter on. So if they attack us, that's one less blocker, which does help our case. But the things will come out with an extra counter on. And they're going to block? Nope. They're just going to take 4. Alright, so we go to 17. And then that one's a 3-3. Alright. Ugh, why can't we find anything to help here? Oh, this is brutal. Oh, this is what I get for not playing that Carplusion Forest early. I was so worried about protecting my life total, but... I think I want to just go with all of these. I'll probably regret this a little bit, but there's a chance they'll block Ruby instead and take more damage here, which I wouldn't be mad about. Though, I should have been more patient and held on to the hard-hitting question, because getting rid of that first Socialite, letting them keep this, would have been the better play. So, patience would have paid off here, and this board state would be a lot easier to deal with. Alright, so they've chosen to block there. We will go ahead and play that. Play the backwoods. Alright. Alright, so wherever they get's going to come in with 2 counters on it now. So now we need to find Witchstalker Frenzies, or nothing's going to really matter here. Yeah. We're at a point where we can't win. GG's. We've just drawn nothing but lands. Ooh, mulligan. Tough. We'll keep this, though. And this is actually kind of a hard keep. I think I'm going to get rid of Iconoclast, even though I'd like to fight something bigger at some point. But we do have a Frenzy. We'll just have to see how this plays out. Might as well attack. Here's random cards that kill tapped creatures. If they have one, they have one. Alright, that was nice and convenient. I'm going to go with this here. Even though we could have got a little extra damage out of it, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm supposed to play around... Well, not that. I was going to say the thing that removes all stuff 2 or less would have been a thing. Alright, so I need to ward 2 to kill that. So I'd have to attack with everything. This becomes 1, and that would be all my mana to kill it. Fair enough. Alright, seems worth it. Alright, get in what we can. And they lost a go for the throat in that exchange. Nice. Alright, you have a Rafine. They block this, take 2. Okay, well, didn't have to find out. My thoughts here were play the Raptor, so that's 4 that they could block. And then there'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then, even if they swept the board or something, we just have Hydra to clean up with. But either combination is probably fine there. But yeah, not where I thought where that deck was going, though, when I saw the Cryptic Coat. We'll keep it. Alright. A backup Ruby's kind of nice. So I will go ahead and play one here. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of hoping, I was going to say, if they don't waste removal and just play Liliana, since we can attack in with the Squee next turn, which it looks like they might be doing. No, they just had sorcery speed removal. Nice. Okay, then. Let's see if we can get a land here to help our cause. Alright. Arguably, though, under the circumstances, maybe we just play Squee since they're having a slow roll removal to kill things, and we could have kept that. But turns out Squee would have been the right option there. But I got a little greedy, trying to dig for more lands. But we would have forced them to have to use a real removal instead of just using Children's Edict. Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered that much. Alright, so now we've got Lightning Strikes. We've got... Alright. This is all reasonable. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and pay the kicker on this Knucklehead. And then we get to attack with Big Ruby, make a token. This is a big turn, actually. Alright, opponent's at 4. We have 6-8 damage in hand. Yep, that's going to do it. We will keep this. Alright, that was a good pull there. We get Ruby, get to attack. Oh, so this is going to be... I guess this mono blue deck with the... assuming that's what this is. This with the Djinn. That's the only thing that really plays like this. Is even still a thing. So let's go ahead and play this with kicker. I mean, if you have a counter, it'll get countered. That works. I think that's... yeah, okay. Yeah, I know not having access to Consider is a big deal. Even in the Prowess deck I built a couple days ago. Alright, well... I guess we just let them exhaust some counters here. I really needed that to be a land, and it wasn't. We're usually pretty good in this matchup, but again, we do need some lands. Unfortunately, that was not one. But it also is a bit difficult, because if they do get like a Djinn, we'll be in a situation next turn where we have to like hard-hitting question, they can protect against the question, and then we have to waste the lightning strike. So we end up like 2 for 2-ing. Oh, well that's a different problem to have here. That's Ward 2. Trying to decide if it's worth it to attack in with the... play another Hydra, get in for 4, but that's probably not. Not at this stage. Okay, we just pass. Yeah, we're not blocking, I guess. Oh, my guess is they're going to be able to untap it. Oh, we just have another one. That works too, I guess. Oh, all these tap lands are so unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man, not great. Not great. No attacks. And they still have access to Fading Hope in those lists that won't exist soon. Alright, so they just used a slip out the back, which means they have a lot of defensive cards. So we couldn't kill a Terror even if we wanted to, I bet. Alright, well, I'm your Huckleberry, I guess. I was going to say, if they bounce 1, they might bounce the 4 so we get less treasure. And even then, we're just hoping to resolve a really big Hydra at that point. No, they're going to kill the 4. Interesting. And give us more treasure. Well, now the question becomes, how many counters do you have, opponent? So I guess we just do this for 5? I don't know if that's the right answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would have 3 mana left. Alright, I mean, we'll try. Probably doesn't work, but sure. Oh, no, 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 no. We need to keep Ruby untapped just in case we need to emergency block Arena. But if they don't counter this, then I have to question, like, do they have a negate? I mean, because that becomes real. I mean, they have something here. I just don't know what it is. Looks like probably another bounce spell. No. All right. I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything. So they go to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there is a world. Oh my gosh. We can't tap here. Yeah, we just have to pass the turn. Because we have to use Ruby, right? So maybe the play was just to make a 5/5. Be able to blow up all the remaining treasure to try to kill the 5. And then give us an out to win next turn. But don't know. They have a chunk of mana and 3 cards in hand. I feel like anything could happen here. Oh, okay, yeah, we were dead anyway. Then GG's. Like, didn't really matter. Alright, we'll keep this and try to make the most of it. Well, you know, if we could get an Urabrass Forge to stick, could be pretty good in this fight. Go with this duder. No 2 mana counter. Huh. Celestis. Alright. Well, under the circumstances, I'm going to lead with this. So, if a sweeper is coming, future turns get hurt a bit less. Alright, you got it. Okay, let's shoot the opponent. Let's attempt to cast this. Yeah, Celestis goes away. These lands go away. So lots of stuff happening with the rotation. That guy, however, will still be legal. I mean, these trample, so they just trade and take some damage. So they're just scrying and gaining the life. But they bottom both. That's good. Alright. Opponent's at 10. We're leaning on Forge pretty heavily here. I'm going to go with this on 3. I'm assuming there's a Wandering Emperor, but I mean, I was gonna say, it could have been whatever, Final Showdown or whatever that thing is. Also, Wandering Emperor goes away. So we're battling a lot of cards that we won't be seeing in the future, basically. Alright, still got there anyway. So I would say overall, there was the small issue of figuring out really 2 things after playing those games, right? Do we want Adaptive as our 1 mana thing, not being a thing that has haste? Could possibly get away with something like the Lackey, because it at least lets us make a treasure draw card, which has some upside if we don't grow the Adaptive. And, you know, do we want hard-hitting question? Because there were multiple times it felt like, man, if we just had, like, I don't know, a shock here, it might be fine as well. The other issue is there are some 2-mana things other than Scoundrel that have some upside. If we want to go with like Cunning Coyote, I think is reasonable. Not like crazy exciting, but it does give you some extra value if we need it. There is Codebreaker, which could get us extra cards late in the game. We don't have that many spells, but, you know, could have some upside. Of course, Slick Shot, Show Off, but we don't have enough spells to take advantage of it. We could go that route, though, if we wanted to, and consider that. And then green doesn't have a ton of options at the lower end. Unfortunately, we're kind of playing the best one in Iconoclast. So the question kind of becomes really also, can we just get bigger things into the deck, right? We do have a fair amount of things at 2 mana, but I don't even know if we could cut the Scoundrel for the time being. I will say this, though, for the deck, that the games we lost were mostly involving cards that aren't going to be standard legal anymore. So that's the upside, I guess, if you will, but we were able to beat the control decks and some of the mid-rangey decks, so that's fine, that's what you want. But some of the other decks, you know, when they have cards that are going to be rotating out, it's hard to get a real feel for where this sits. And ultimately, I think this might be one of those decks where, while we do like having Samet and all the stuff that does have haste, we may need just 1 or 2 things that aren't hasty. Whether the upper end means we're playing like a couple of Dracosaur or something like that, just to have a bigger finisher, something that can come over the top. You know, I don't know. There's something there though still if we want to go down that road. So I will say this though, it was at least playable. All the cards did what they were supposed to do. We won some games because of Urbrass Forge. We won some games because we got extra cards off of Samet. You know, it is what we expected. Nothing crazy, but it worked. So, yeah, if you already have a version of this, you can at least build this, play it over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll just kind of keep our eye on Bloomburrow to see if we do get something else big as a finisher to protect the deck, or just something else with haste that's worth playing. I will say, though, if you want to go a completely different direction and you want to see a control deck that at least has a big, cool creature finish and doesn't have to take forever, check out this next video. You might actually enjoy it, and it is rotation ready. But that's all of you for now. We'll see you next time.